Yo, hoot hoot,
GM, hoot hoot.
hoot hoot. How we doing? How we living, baby?
Oh man, yo Jeremy, how was your weekend? It is Monday. Feels like a Monday.
It definitely feels like a Monday, but it's a tough life we live out here. Cause actually, this Monday I picked up some new clubs, picked up a new putter.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a busy Monday. It's a hard life out here.
What kind of putter did you get? Let me see.
I don't even know. No, it's,
You don't even know.
Here you go. Well, it might be hard. There we go.
Okay, you didn't go with the Scotty Cameron. You don't want to show you don't want to show off that much, huh?
No, but I did get some Glide 4.0 wedges though.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Is it after I said I had those my advice?
Yeah, it's not gonna focus, but yeah.
Yeah, those pink glides they work well. Maybe I'll take my I'll bring my clubs down to Texas. I was already planning on that. Didn't want to get around them before or after NFT NYC.
Yeah, I mean I was looking at, or one of them is a used 4.0, one of them is a new. But the reason I got them is just because the guy gave me a deal. I went in there looking for something a bit more modest to try to get my swing back and stuff. But yeah, that's how the weekend went. Pretty chill.
Yeah, everyone, thanks for joining us. This has turned into a golf club review stream, so that's going to be what we're going to do for the rest of the day today. Thank you.
I heard you had a little celebration over the weekend.
Yo, our man's got a little. Hey, that's not a bad idea. You should get a little custom Moonbird covers for your clubs.
Yep. I should, especially if I don't sell my Moonbirds.
Yeah, I did have a little celebration. It was me and my wife's 6-year anniversary on Saturday. So, yeah, we just kind of took the day off, did some yard work, bought some flowers and plants, and then finished the day off. Went to one of those dine-in movies where you can sit in the recliners. They bring food to you. We went and watched the new Fantastic Beasts because my wife's like a huge Harry Potter nerd fan. So that's what she wanted to see, and yeah, it was a good day. It was a pretty low key way to celebrate our anniversary, which is how we try to keep it usually.
Yeah. You said yard work. I did the same as well. So it seems like we're pretty productive this weekend.
Yeah. Our we were cleaning out our shed, and we ended up sending our dogs out on a hunt because there was a rat in our shed, and we can't be having that. And what's the point of having dogs if they're not going to be there to help you out, right? Yeah. So that was some excitement yesterday, but we're here, and
GG's to 6 years. Everybody, round of applause for Mr. Michael and Tagline's wife Johnson.
Thank you for not doxing my wife. I appreciate you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. It goes by quick. I know you're right there too. You're about to hit 6 years, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it goes by quick. Once you hit a few years, it's just okay. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, maybe we start a second stream and we talk about like marriage alpha.
Marriage alpha.
How to make it. Yeah, we start getting.
Yeah. Okay. What was that?
What the hell?
I gotta scroll up for this.
I don't even know what happened.
Yo, Hillbilly gifting 25 tier 1 subs.
25 tier 1 subs. Yo, give it up
dude.
For the farmer out here putting.
I thought we got hit by bots or something there for a bit because it just went crazy. Yo, Hillbilly, definitely appreciate that. We were actually going to give you a shout out, but why wait? Yo, shout out to Hillbilly who had a huge sale over the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
So he, this man minted a Moonbird for 2.5 ETH, and what did he sell it for? 44 ETH, right?
Yeah, he sold it for 44 ETH.
Whew. What a turnaround! That guy, tell me you're a whale without telling me you're a whale. That guy became a whale overnight, right? That's insane. GG's Hillbilly. Thanks for the subs. Congrats on that sale. Hope you celebrated over the weekend as well.
Yes, sir. Definitely wanted to shout out Hillbilly today because we haven't gone live since its sale. And his sale, I mean, this man, he diamond hands. He was in the chat, and it was with a little help, sure, but I think this man would have been okay either way. But he was in the chat. He's been in the voice chat, in the text chat. And he's like, hey, should I sell here? We're like, no, don't sell yet. Diamond hands, don't sell. It got up to 13, got up to 20. This man was thinking about it. But, GG's credits to him. We're not taking the credit. Credits to him because he never placed it at the floor. He never placed it at the floor of the captain's hat. He was always like a little bit above. And man was just patient and ended up kind of sniping the top a little bit, especially for that captain's hat. So
Yeah.
Shout out GG's to Hillbilly.
Yeah, I know there were several times he was contemplating taking the offers, like when it got to like the 13, 14 range. I know you were trying to get him to take your offer of 9 ETH, and when the floor was like 15. So, yeah, a little shady by the little Yo Jeremy, but obviously it was a joke. Hopefully.
I was trying to provide some liquidity. I was trying to get him out. You know?
Yeah, of course. You're being a friend. That's a good friend right there. But
break him off a little bad. I'll take the risk. But
luckily, some of TrueCon's diamond hands rubbed off on him, and he held and had that big. He basically sold the peak too, because basically as soon as he sold, like the floor dropped back down to like the low 30s. So he sold it basically the perfect time you could sell. He played it perfectly. So
he did. Yeah,
absolutely.
And thank you again for the 25 gifted, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
so much.
Definitely appreciate that. And keep those tractor streams going. And those are nice. And if you're not in the Discord, if you see a Billy in there, you see him streaming, it's a good day because he's on the tractor, and it's nice to have on the side right there. But all right, so let's jump into. I've got to look away from this is my second screen because I'm watching these Akutar listings, but we'll get into that later.
Well,
but let's jump into some floor updates as we usually do, and it's been a bit. Like Jeremy said, it's been a bit since we streamed. We canceled our Friday stream thinking we were going to do a Saturday one, and then Saturday ended up being like a little bit longer day for us, and we did more stuff on our anniversary than I expected. I didn't know we were gonna that movie date night kind of turned into like a little last minute thing, so we kind of rugged our viewers over the weekend. So we apologize for that, but we're back and let's look at this. So let's see, 24-hour. First of all, let's just look at these. Whew. Ooh, these Bored Apes, these mutants. I know we got several mutant holders in the chat. GG's to mutants. They hit 40 ETH yesterday. They're sitting at 41.6 now. Amazing. Incredible. Bored Apes, the OG Bored Apes are almost to 150. They just passed the CryptoPunks all-time high from back in August, and they just passed that. And
as Mongo would say, we're moving. We're moving.
Yeah, we're moving. All right, so let's look at the last 24 hours. Let's look what's green. What are some of the top gainers? And just looking here, we got some familiar faces. We got the Kennel Club sitting there. They're at I didn't even realize this. They're almost at 15 ETH.
Is this because I know we'll get into it later, but you think it's just because of the Otherside rumors that these are moving, or are people just picking these up just to be in the ecosystem?
I think it's got to be an Otherside rumors, right? Or I guess since everything else has moved, like the lower stuff's gonna move too. Like with apes going to 150, mutants going to over 40. Kennel Club's not really gonna stay in like the 8 to 10 range, right? They're gonna kind of move alongside of those. So I think it's a combination of both, but probably mainly just the rumors that have been. There's been speculations of the Kennel Club being used basically to they'll have utility in the Otherside land. I don't know if that's true or not. Kind of, Gordon came out with a tweet saying stop buying based off these rumors once people started doing that. But hey, here we are. They're at 15 each. So Kennel Club having themselves a day. Mutant Apes are up here. I'm trying to look at other notable projects. Just a lot of Yuga. Anonymized are coming back, I guess.
They're back, baby.
They're back. Outside of that, do you see anything in here that sticks out to you?
Hate Prime. I mean, if you would ask me if I ever saw that project above 1 ETH again, I would have said probably not. So, I mean, shout out to them.
Up 55%. Did
Whatever
they have some
hopium they're on? I don't know.
I guess, did they have some kind of announcement or something? Because I guess I missed that. But again, I don't follow. I don't have Hate Prime on notifications.
Yep.
Psychedelics is moving up there as well. They're at 3.3.
That's been one that's been pretty consistent, surprisingly, impressively throughout all the ups and downs of the last 2 months. Psychedelics Anonymous, shout out to those guys and their holders. They're a lot different and a lot better than Gutter Cat Gang holders. Like Gutter Cat Gang, gotta have some of the most paper hands I've ever seen. Because anytime it goes up, they crash that floor just straight down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Psychedelics, it's just it hasn't mooned, but it's been pretty consistent. So
yeah, and then Kaiju Kings looks like they made a little bit of movement as well. I've seen them being talked about on Twitter this morning and stuff. I'm seeing that name thrown around, but yeah, some decent projects up here, right? it's a good day. Even if you go down there, there's a lot of projects that are above 10% plus over the last 24 hours. We're seeing a lot of movement. Like you see the Moonbirds, on-chain monkeys, mutants down there. But let's look at the flip side and let's see what is not mooning. What is the term used in the Discord last night? What's reverse mooning? Because Schiller, this man needs to learn the definition of mooning. The POW price will move up 2 cents, and he'll put in the Discord, POW is mooning, and it'll make me check the price, and it went from 11 cents to 13 cents, and that's mooning, baby. We're going.
That's like manga, except the opposite. Manga is like the price is down like 0.01. This guy will hop in voice chat. Hey, did you see?
Okay.
We're crashing.
All right, it's out of pocket. We gotta move on. Just like TrueCon. Yeah, you got calling out TrueCon. All right, so what's down? Looking at these, I don't really. VFriend Series 2, I guess, because they've opened up. I guess more people have been able to mint now, so that's why people mint it and they just list it immediately, looking for that quick flip. We've got the weather report saga they're there, but again, I don't see a lot of big notable projects on this list besides VFriends. Shout out JBB Ghostly Ghosts. Your project's down 20% over the last 24 hours. I guess there's just some market stuff going on there, but do you see anything that sticks out here for you?
There's 88%. First of all, 88%.
Okay, yeah,
that's pretty huge, even for a floor price of 0.21 to be down 88.
Whenever you only have 3 sales in 24 hours, what can you expect?
Yeah, so they a mega crash. But other than that, can you go back? Yeah, let's see. Yeah. No, nothing that really sticks out, because the one thing that I check for is floor price first, because most of these I consider not even like a real thing. Like if you can't get above 0.2 or whatever, you're kind of dead to me.
I guess the only notable one that I see is that VFriends, and then you get to cyber brokers, and those are pretty much the two that stick out to me.
Yeah, so VFriends Series 2, that one, the floor price to drop isn't. It's not surprising, because for those of you who haven't kept up with VFriends, the raffle mint happens pretty soon, right? The winners. So people are just expecting that increase in supply. Yeah. They're trying to get ahead of the floor dump, because as we all know, or as you should know by now, because you've been watching our stream, if there's a huge increase in supply, then floor typically dumps, especially if there's not that huge hype, maniac demand for it.
Yeah, once you get a little bit lower to these like mid-teens, now we see a lot more noticeable projects like Alien Friends, Fluff World, Cool Mans, Lazy Lions, Dower Darcells, but up at the top, it's just a lot of nothing projects.
So, I don't think either of us owns cyber brokers, but knowing what you know about them, whether that's a little or a lot, what price would you be comfortable getting into cyber brokers?
Knowing what I know about them, which is basically like on a scale 1 to 10, probably like a 2 or 3. I don't keep up with it at all. Probably, I don't even know the price right now if I wasn't looking at this, but probably like an ETH or less. Just because it's not, I don't know. I like the art. Like I like how it's all on chain. It's it's super high quality that's on chain too, like the images. But it's just not my style. So yeah, I don't think I ever see myself buying into it unless it gets like crazy low. But if it gets that low, then there's probably a reason why it gets that low. Then I'm not a buyer, right? So
yeah, I'd like to, on the high side, probably get in at 2.5. On the low side, if I can make a 1.5 offer and get in somehow, I'd be down to take a little risk.
Yeah,
boys.
All right, I need you. We have a lot. I'm pretty sure everyone in our chat pretty much owns a Specie, right? Or like 90%. I know we do. I need you to give us the hopium, right? Cool Man's Species, they're down bad. They're at 0.7. These were up to like over 2 ETH at one point, consistently at 1.5. I just need you to give us give us some words of encouragement. Like, tell us the bull case for Species and why they're going to be okay.
Bull case for Species?
The people want to know. The people want to know.
We still have the 2nd gen mint coming up, the baby mint.
Yep.
Especially babies. I'm sure we have like another animated episode coming up. we haven't heard the details of any like huge licensing stuff that they've done for a larger scale animation, and licensing rights there. We don't know what events that they're gonna do, or that they're gonna have coming up to NFT NYC. And do we know anything about their metaverse play? Like whether what they've said? No.
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Yeah. So I mean that's unannounced too. So maybe once they stack up these announcements, we'll be okay. But yeah, not looking good.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, we'll take that. I guess my case would be like the market we're in right now. It's not very favorable to these mid-tier projects in between like the 0.5 and 2 ETH range, just because everyone's stacking ETH. So last week everyone was stacking ETH for Moonbirds, or 2 weeks ago everyone was stacking ETH for Moonbirds, right? All the liquidity was going to Moonbirds, and now it's everyone stacking ETH for the Otherside and Codas and all that speculation. So, and we said this early April. Like we said that we just we said that with all these sales going on, April's a huge month. There's a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of these mid-tier projects are kind of being shoved to the side. It's kind of like that meme. The guy turning around, looking at the girl passing, and even though he's holding the hand of the girl he's leaving behind, it's kind of like that with these mid-tier projects. Everyone's looking at this new shiny thing, but I feel like next month or so, once things settle down, there's not as many hyped up projects coming out with these long track records. Then maybe we start seeing some more of that liquidity flow back into these mid-tier projects. So I know my personal opinion, or what I'm doing right now, is I'm not selling any of these projects that are down bad, like Robotos, like Coolmans. Some of these that have been at these 1.5, 2 ETH floors, and now they're back down to 0.6, 0.5, 0.7. I'm not freaking out. I'm not panicking. I'm not selling them. I'm just kind of holding out and expecting them to have liquidity flow back into them in the next month or two. Once things settle down with the new shiny thing, right? That's just my personal approach right now to that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think you're right. I won't recap everything, but people holding on to their ETH for one, it was kind of like taxes, right? And then 2, Moonbirds, and then now 3, Otherside, especially with their announcement this weekend. So it was a lot of reasons for pretty much just the bigger projects to continue to go on. Smaller ones, people were taking their profits or taking their losses. They're just trying to stack up ETH and get prepared for these drops. So What is going to happen after this Saturday? So
yeah.
Interesting.
Gonna be interesting. But so speaking of, you mentioned it this Saturday. What happens this Saturday? Does something happen this Saturday on April 30th? I don't know.
We're going to the other side, baby.
So on Saturday, we kind of. I mean, sometimes I don't really pat ourselves on the back too often, but we kind of nailed this timeline a little bit. I said that I expected an announcement on basically their anniversary for 4/23, which is what we got. But I was off by one day. I said I expect an announcement on 4/23, and I expect the mint to happen on the actual public sale mint anniversary on 4/29. But I was one day off, and the actual sales on 4/30. So my timeline was basically correct. But yeah, we had this announcement come out Saturday. We're going to the other side. They released the Discord. They opened up the Twitter. And here we go. Other side happening this Saturday. We still don't know the details yet. They haven't released the details, the price, how many are available, who gets an airdrop, who gets whitelisted, all this. We don't know any of that yet. But all we know is it's happening, right? It's happening at 12 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. And I know personally, I have booked out my Saturday. I'm treating this like the Mutants. Like I remember Mutants leading up to that. You and I are like, this is gonna be a big weekend. You want to block out that day and basically save liquidity and be ready. And I'm treating this Saturday the exact same. I've already told my wife, like, hey, it's a work day for me. I'm not doing anything. I'm not going anywhere. I got no plans. I'm just sitting at my computer, and here we go.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the same, except I have something that I can't step away from on Saturday. But I think in terms of timing, I'm going to be okay. But yeah, just like you said, it's something that if you can afford to, in terms of time-wise, just to be able to pay attention to it and see what's going on, keep up with the details, whether, I don't know if you guys are KYC'd or not, because they haven't released the details, right? Like maybe Saturday is only the airdrop to apes. Maybe the public sale happens after that. We don't know. But either way about it, like it's gonna start on Saturday, so you're gonna want to pay attention.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to keep up with this. It's literally the biggest project, the biggest brand in NFTs by a long shot. Matter of fact, the M2 Serum has flipped punks. The ape airdrop, the ape token airdrop, getting one from one OG ape. The value of that has flipped punks. So two Bored Ape airdrops individually.
Why are you choosing violence against the punks? What did they do to you? Come on, they don't need to keep hearing that.
Yeah. So, and then Q Dog also brings up a good point though. It's like what I'm saying is like you need to keep up with it. You got to understand the details and what's happening, kind of the market activity, market sentiment. But in the long term, this is still only half the land sale because there's going to be 200K total, as far as we know, because this is what's been believed from the leaked decks.
Right.
We haven't seen anything that says otherwise, but if it is to be believed, there's supposed to be 200K total, and this first half of the drop is 100K land plots.
Yeah. Have you been keeping up with a lot of the speculation and rumors that people have been throwing out? Or I know we talked about some of them on Wednesday, but there's been some more over the weekend. People found they think they found the contract on the test net. Like, what are your thoughts on some of these newer speculations that we have?
I don't think that they're too far off from the truth. I do think they'll be a bit different though. I think the testnet contract was pretty fake. I don't think that they would have let it be found like that.
Yeah.
Or if they did, it was for a reason, right?
You mean the eggplant farm token?
Yeah. So I think I think it's either completely fake or it could be bait by them themselves. And so I didn't take any of those details, to heart. What I personally believe is that it will be a Dutch auction though. But what I'm wondering is, and I do believe it's all going to be done in ape coin, but I'm not sure the starting price of that, right? And the other thing that I'm not sure of is is there going to be almost like an allow list, like a period of time for ape owners to go and buy land sale before the public, and then for the public sale, is it only going to be KYC'd accounts, or are they going to be KYC'd first and then like other accounts can go buy? I don't know. That's
what I'm curious about. Like I don't know if it's hard for me to believe that KYC we did early on with no information, just like, hey, here's a KYC. It's hard for me to believe that they're going to limit the public sale to only those who KYC'd. I don't know. Like, I guess I could see it happen, but it's just hard for me to believe that that's the case, right?
I mean, that's what I believed from the very first day. Like, when they said you need a KYC, I was like, oh, this is for the land sale. Like, that's the only place my mind went to.
Yeah, but they still didn't tell us. Like, I mean, I know people that have been involved in Bored Apes, that was probably the easy speculation, but someone that's not maybe as involved, not as tuned in, that's still looking to get in, they probably had no idea, and it was kind of sketchy to them, so maybe they didn't do it. Now they missed out on that. But then I guess they can just wait for the second round of the land sale, right?
Yeah.
And if they have another KYC round.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. KYC is basically early access because you took the risk or whatever. You were, the word just slipped my mind. Anyways, you KYC'd. Now the benefit is you get kind of like early access to this land sale. And then if you didn't KYC, you can buy it off secondary, or you can kind of wait for the second round.
Cool. What do you think's gonna happen on Saturday? What's our speculation? I kind of feel like it's gonna be similar to what we saw with the mutant drop. So like, I remember we were all like paying attention to the mutant drops, and they started dropping the serums, and they were being airdropped, and then we were all watching that, and then all of a sudden, like unannounced, the mutant public sale is happening at a Dutch auction, but like it wasn't really announced. I kind of feel like we're gonna see a similar thing, like at this time frame that they announced. Like that's whenever like they're gonna say, all right, Otherside's here. It's being airdropped currently to current ape and mutant holders, and then I feel like on the side there may be some kind of like not secret, but unannounced start of the public Dutch auction, right? That's kind of how I feel like what we may see again. That's what they've done before. But what's your best guess, and what do you think is going to happen?
Man, I think the airdrop obviously will happen first. Just kind of, as you said, like same thing with the serums, but then there will be the Dutch auction, but I'm not sure the quantity. Again, like the numbers are kind of confusing. Like they don't make sense for everything that's happened thus far. So I'm just kind of bewildered. Um, yeah, I think the airdrop in somewhat of a sale, but I'm not sure if it's going to be an ape only sale or if it's going to be a KYC sale or maybe all in the same day. But my best guess is that there's an airdrop, and then we probably see the KYC sale.
Right. Yeah. Do you think? So, do you think there's gonna be three separate things happening? We're gonna have the airdrop. Do you think there's gonna be a whitelist? Like, you know, the speculations that a lot of these projects are gonna be getting whitelisted. And if so, are they gonna need KYC, or is KYC just for the public? Right? Like, there's a lot of moving factors going into thinking this. And do you think that there's gonna be like a 3-stage, you know, sale process on Saturday?
Yeah, maybe. That's a good question for those partnered projects, because the partnered projects at the same time, like that was from an official video where they were featured in that trailer, but we haven't heard anything. We haven't even seen anything in terms of the test contract either. But so I don't know, because why would they make KYC public, or the public have to KYC, but then not allow this projects have to KYC when they're going to be doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not an airdrop. Basically, non-airdropped lands, the way it looks right now is like you have to be KYC to purchase.
Yeah. And I wonder if there's going to be like maybe there's going to be an allow list, and those are kind of like reserved for those spots, and you have time to do your KYC and then purchase it. You know, so it's not like immediate, like, oh, you have to do this right away. Maybe that happens. I don't know. And there's an allotted amount for each one. But yeah, I mean, that would, if that were the case, that would only leave like 10,000 or less for the public sale, and that's not even including. We even talked about the whole 10K TF speculation, right?
No,
like with, you know, there's 10K TF is already cryptic in itself, and you add that to the Otherside land. Like, I don't know if they're just trolling or if there actually is like a partnership there, but you know, that's. The speculations are going crazy there, and we've seen the 10K TF floor respond, and it's shot up. Like, it had a huge weekend. People were sweeping the ape day packs, the ape shoes, like just regular stuff, all the crafting materials. Like, it was just insane. One guy spent like $1 million on 10K TF in like 30 minutes. Like, just talk about sending it. Like, there's so much speculation going on right now, and some people are going to be right and some people are going to be wrong. And and we're going to find out soon.
Yeah, but it's fun. I mean, this is what Yuga loves. This is what they've done before. Whereas in terms of, you know, not giving us any information really like ahead of time, and for better or worse, you know, that's the way that they've done it. And I really enjoy it. If I had like a normal kind of job, then maybe I wouldn't enjoy it, because it's like, all right, tell me exactly when stuff is happening. Tell me exactly how much it's going to cost, you know, and historically they just haven't done that. So they got a bit of degen in them too.
Yeah, absolutely. Any final thoughts on Otherside land before we move on?
Oh, there's the contributors, right? Like Ape Token, Ape DAO, ApeCoin DAO contributors and stuff. The raise that they did. I think there's, I mean, according to the testnet contract, like there's a sell phase for them too, for contributors to go in there and buy land. So, you know, maybe that plays a part into Saturday's timeline.
Yeah, maybe. That's gonna. There's so many questions out there, and I'm just ready to get some answers. I'm tired of these quote unquote alpha leaks, and you know, actually, I sent one out last night, so who knows? Maybe we'll see if mine plays out. Mine was more of a joke, trolling the. You know, anytime I get a chance to troll or to make fun of the DMT apes, then I'm gonna take it. Absolutely. But while we're speaking on the subject of Yuga, let's just go in and hop into something else that happened this morning with Yuga, with Bored Apes. It was not great. So their official Instagram was hacked, and a fake link to the Otherside land was put up on their story, and people fell for it. It's a big oof. It is a big oof. It's a big L right there. So in total, you know, there's 4 OG apes that were like lost, and then 7 mutants, along with other, I think there were some clone X's, and along with some other NFTs, right? I think it was 91 total NFTs, but out of the apes there was only 4 OGs and 7 mutants out of the ape collections. So I don't know. Again, this is my favorite piece of advice is, don't be the first, right? Like there's no rush, especially whenever you have that, you're talking about these high value assets. First of all, don't be the first. Second of all, we've already said this before. Don't Instagram. Don't use Instagram for NFT stuff, right? No legit project in this space is gonna put the link to or some actual alpha on Instagram. It's never gonna happen. It's gonna be on Twitter. It's gonna be on Discord.
Maybe announcements, maybe shout outs, but never like a link to do something.
Yeah.
But that goes for any collection. I mean, because it's all relative. For us, it's like Bored Apes are high value assets, but to somebody else, I mean, your 0.5 floor project could be like a high value asset. And so, I mean, you just want to be careful all around, no matter the value of the items that you have in your wallet. Like, just, take 30 seconds to actually figure out, hey, is this legit? Is this real? Do a little bit of research. Because most of these projects, there's not going to be like a benefit to being first. Right. In terms of any airdrops or claims and whatnot. So it's not worth it, man. Just be careful, be safe.
Yeah, absolutely. I do wonder if Yuga is going to do something for people that lost NFTs for this, because it was an official account hacked. I mean, I don't know. They did mention it in this tweet. If you were affected or have information, then reach out to this. They created a new email, the ighack@yugalabs.io, for that. They're very specific on, you contact us first. We're not going to contact you. So I wonder if they do feel some kind of responsibility, since it was their official account. It wasn't just some, it wasn't the 53rd Bored Ape co-founder, right? It was an actual official account. So I wonder if they will do something or not. I don't know. They're not, obviously, I don't think they were required to. But I could see them doing something to help out people that were affected by it.
Yeah, I can see that. It's a tough situation, man. It could all be avoided. Obviously, on both parties, if they had that account locked down, nice and secure, and then the other side is just not kind of being. I don't want to say dumb, just not being careless.
Yeah. Definitely careless. Our man, TikTok, 100% legit. Go and click on all the links you want on TikTok. Go ahead. We'll let you be the first to let us know how that works out.
Yeah, but no, seriously, that's my thing. Even on legit projects, I'm like, okay, can you guys check this out first? Kina, can you try this?
Yeah, go Kina, go send this real quick. Yeah, but all right. So we've got that. We had some more news happen over the weekend. It really kind of picked up last night, and there was some more clarity today. And let's look at. We're gonna go back to Moonbirds, and we're gonna talk about Ryan Carson and this whole saga that's been happening. So here I wanted to go through. Here's basically like a TLDR, right? Here's the storyline, or the timeline. We got the sellout. Huge thing. Ryan Carson says, "Yep, time to build. Let's go." And then last night he's asking for basically some devs to help him build a website. And then shortly after, he posts a link for his new NFT fund. That basically you pay 100 ETH, 25 ETH quarterly to be a part of this NFT fund. It basically seems like the same idea as Proof, but he's just kind of taking it and running and trying to make it bigger, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I guess whenever he says time to build right here, we should he technically didn't say time to build Moonbirds, time to build his own thing on the side, right? He took that on the side. But yeah, I mean, I know you're pretty involved in Moonbirds. This was one of my favorite memes that I saw as a response to his tweet.
This is a nice, well executed.
It's very good because it's pretty accurate, right? I mean, after the events that happened, he kind of seems like a little greedy guy, just going project to project, kind of sucking money out where he can.
I mean, I do have like, I think it's for no reason though. Like, because I have better background information on it and like the whole timeline, the whole scope. So
sure, I
don't really see it as an issue, but but that's me knowing all of it. It's right. And what matters is what people immediately see or the perception of it. right? So I can know the details and I'm not worried about it, whatever, or I don't have to FUD, but the market doesn't react off of that because the market doesn't go and research all of it. The market immediately sees this project that's not 1 week old, a person who was supposed to be involved in the project and hiring even for members and then leaving suddenly, right? So it's not a good look. And
Right.
to be honest, if I was a team, I wouldn't have, not necessarily, I can't say I wouldn't have let it happen because Ryan can do anything he wants, but I would have worked with him to make this look a lot better, right? Optics wise and perception.
Yeah. Yeah, Hillbilly, you're right. Yeah, it just looks bad, right? It just looks bad.
Yeah. But the Ryan's thing, I mean, that's been out for almost 5 weeks already.
Yeah.
That he was starting to fund, and they're not actually competing against each other. Proof and that one, they're totally different in terms of the setup. But yeah, it's just even Proof has some responsibility of this as well, because even they marketed their project or themselves as kind of like a team, and they knew full well that this guy would probably leave as well. So even in the Moonbird marketing, they probably should have really not included Ryan as much as they should have. Like even in all the podcast interviews that they did, right? Should Ryan have even been there? They could have said, hey, our current CEO, Ryan, he's back at home. We didn't bring him here because he's probably going to leave after this.
Yeah. And I was listening to, Kevin Rose, the founder of Proof and the guy that's over all of it. He had a Twitter Spaces this morning, basically addressing this, and he sent out I'll put these tweets too. He sent out these tweets earlier this morning, basically saying they've parted ways. Pretty nice words. When I listened to the Twitter Spaces, I was kind of impressed because he didn't. I thought it was gonna be like pretty like, I don't know, like buttered up, like being really nice to Ryan about it. But I give props to Kevin, DeCairo. He was pretty. Not like spicy or anything, but he was very transparent of everything, and you could hear the displeasure in his voice and the disappointment in his voice of how Ryan handled everything. And I liked hearing that from Kevin. He laid out everything. He said like, hey, Proof is our main thing. We want everyone that's on the team to basically move to the same city, right, and work on this together. And Ryan was one of the ones that said, I can't do that. I've got ties down here. And it just sounded like from the beginning, whenever Ryan was brought on, Kevin said that his perspective was that Ryan was retired and he had nothing else going on, but he actually had these side adventures that he kind of didn't really tell them about. Until he was already in positions with them and working with them, and so it just kind of looked bad. It just made Ryan look bad on the optics side, and also the fact that Ryan just threw a ton of ETH into Moonbirds on the launch day, like immediately. Basically, as soon as the team was allowed to, he just threw a ton of ETH into it, like immediately. Also, didn't look bad, and Kevin acknowledged that as well. It's something they're going to look forward to. But I thought the spaces overall this morning was pretty well handled from Kevin. Did you get to listen to any of that at all from his spaces?
Not the whole thing, but I did catch it. And Kevin, again, like I can't speak for his whole history, but from the moment that I've been involved in Proof and then through Moonbirds, like this guy is pretty transparent in his feelings.
Yeah.
And he's a great speaker, whether that's good or bad. Whether this guy's just
True.
a good, a good BSer, a good liar, or good truth teller, and just a great speaker overall. I don't know, but what it does, it, like you said, it just makes you feel better. It makes you feel comfortable about the situation. Like it makes you feel like he's leveling with you.
Yep.
And so I can appreciate that. But yeah, so I know the details. Who I would be upset with is just Ryan overall.
Yeah.
But in terms of the overall Proof project and the Moonbirds, could they have done some things better from the perception side? Yes. Does it affect the project long term? No. I'm kind of not necessarily worried for Ryan's upcoming project, but I think he'll find as many people as he wants to contribute 25 ETH per quarter. But I don't know if that's like a successful play overall. And I know that's not what the segment's about, but I don't know. I'm a little bit worried for them.
I personally don't think it's gonna be too successful. So how long has Ryan been in the NFT space? Because you know more about these guys and their background than I do.
I mean, I think 2 years or so, 2.5 years.
Okay.
I know he was not early in punks, but like he got one for not near the price they are now.
Gotcha. I guess I saw. I mean, I guess I saw a tweet earlier that said that he's only been here since February, so that's probably wrong. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just so weird. And Kevin said that the tweet last night that Ryan sent about his fund was basically call him off guard. Like basically wasn't. They talked about him not tweeting something like that for anytime soon, but he still did it. And then yeah, and Kevin did lay down rules for him. He said, you're not allowed to solicit to proof holders to be your investors and things like that. But it kind of feels like he was trying to find like a gray area around that by announcing these things while he was still in the official position, because obviously people involved in the project are going to trust him because he's a top person in the project. It just comes across as slimy. My views of Ryan now just feels like he's just a slimy car salesman, and I would advise anyone to not put ETH towards him. Right? He's people have looked in his past from his other projects that have failed and been bought out and laid off people for questionable things, and it's just it's someone that you probably don't really want to be around or involved with. And I feel like this is probably the most accurate meme. Like I think it really is like extremely accurate, right? Once things come out about it.
I think he could be a good guy, like with good intentions, but would I follow him into any project that he does right now? Definitely not.
Yeah.
I feel like he's probably, and hey, this guy has a lot of experience in previous spaces, right? Like especially Web2, whether good or bad, he has a lot of experience. But I feel like in this space particularly, it just seems like he's kind of used the platforms of others and like catapulted himself to a level or like to a tier that is probably over his head, like probably biting off more than he could chew. And hey, but he's trying to strike while the iron is hot, so. I mean, if he's going to make a move, I think he has to make a move now. I just, I'm not the one that's going to be following him into battle.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Any final thoughts on any of that Moonbirds, Ryan, Kevin drama or anything?
I guess the only other thing I would say is it just perception also gets worse when you consider, how much inside information he also knew and the amount of Moonbirds that he bought. If there would have been a cap ahead of time, especially if they knew that he had this stuff going on, like there should be either limited information that passes to him or caps on what each team member can buy up front, early on.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. It looks like moving forward they will tighten some things down in that department. But all right, so moving on, we had another mint take place since our last stream, and this one got kind of controversial. This was the Akus, the Akutars. These minted out at a Dutch auction. Obviously, I think this was on Friday, right? That we had this all happen. So Friday, the snapshot was taken. People were still dumping the mint passes on people like that. They were worthless now, but people were still buying them. So there was that whole issue. But then we had the Dutch auction, started at 3.5. It didn't sell out until 2.1. But the drama happened is about like pretty early into the Dutch auction. Some devs took to Twitter and were like, "Hey, I need can someone put me in contact with the dev team for the Akutars?" And a lot of these devs contacted Micah and his dev team, and basically they found some issues in the code and they were trying to bring it to their attention. But then the dev team ended up saying like, no, that's actually supposed to be there on purpose. That's a safeguard for us. Whatever the issue was, like it's actually not an issue. So then the devs are like, okay, well if you already knew about it and that's the case, then that's fine. Well, fast forward a few hours. That's not actually the case. It was actually an issue that was overlooked on the This is above my my brain level. This is all coder stuff. You probably understand this more than I do, but basically there was an issue in the contract where those funds that were raised in the Dutch auction are now locked away forever. So that's about $34 million worth of ETH that's just locked in a contract forever.
Forever.
The team will never be able to recover it. So they had the sale, and all the proceeds went to nobody. Luckily, they were able to release. There was a way for them to be able to release the funds for the refund portion. So, they did the traditional like actual Dutch auction way, where if you bought at 3.5 and it sells out at 2.1, then you got refunded your like 1.4. For the price difference, so everyone pays the same lower price. So luckily they were able to get those funds released, and everyone got their refund. So the only thing that was affected were the funds that were for the team for their actual sale, the sale, which was a whopping $34 million, right? Which is, ooh, man, the FUD storm was insane Friday night. I don't know if you were around, if you were following it, but what were your thoughts going into that and just kind of following it?
I mean, well, first of all, I was kind of like scared because we were bidding on quite a few of them. I don't know how many overall you went. I think I bought like 4, and I just full cented on the first bid essentially.
Yep. I did as well.
I think I got 1 late, but yeah, most of them just top price because I was like, I don't really care. I just want to be involved. Love the project, love the story, love the dude.
Yep.
And then I think we were both doing our own thing, kind of like IRL, and then we come back, and what we come back to is this horror story of like, hey, X amount of ETH locked up in the contract, never recoverable, scam, rug, this, that, and I'm like, what is going on? And all I saw was like ETH locked. I'm like, damn. So did we just lose our ETH that we put in, because that's about 12, 15 ETH, whatever. So first of all, I was scared. Second of all, just took a breath, started looking into a contract, what was going on, and there was 2 separate issues, right? 2 separate issues. One is that people could, well, actually no, I already forgot the technicals, but there's 2 issues. The first one kind of got solved. Second one is the one that lasts forever. It's permanent. That ETH is not recoverable. Then after that, I was just kind of wondering what they're gonna do as a project, as a team, because obviously Micah, he nobody is probably more upset with this, other than that guy right there.
Yeah.
Like he's a well-meaning dude. I don't know him personally, but you can go back in history and he's like the same guy then as he is now, still trying to promote the same story.
Yeah. One thing about Micah, and that makes me like, I guess, bullish on him, but everything I've heard about him from other people that have been in the space for a long time, it's overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
And that's not too common, I feel like, right? There's always someone that has something negative to say, but I've never heard that from Micah.
And then what I heard from my research too is like a lot of white collar guys and girls, white collar investors, they were heavy into this project. That's why we saw the mint pass go up as crazy as it was. Like, normal degens, like they weren't even talking about AccuTars, Accu World before all this popped off. So I don't think you can blame degens or give them the credit for the mint passes going up to almost 5 ETH. I think this is really like big money that's coming in, white collar, ETH and type of investors and flippers coming in.
Yeah.
And I think that's again credit to the IP, credit to the brand, to Micah and his team. But then they had the Discord stage, and when stuff starts getting emotional, man, I not that I put up my wall, but I just really don't know how to feel, because there's been so many, especially in the space right now, like scam wise, rug wise, like, and you don't know the person personally. Like, I just never know how to feel when somebody gets emotional, and that's even in sports and esports and games, whatever. It's like, is it authentic? And it's kind of sad that we have to ask ourselves, right? Like, is that authentic emotion?
Yeah.
Or who does he feel bad for? Like, is Micah crying because he just locked up 36 mil and doesn't get broken off? Is he crying for the supporters, the people who paid? The money that he's gonna have to spend now? Like, I don't know what it was. So I did listen to the stage. I came out feeling like I didn't really gain anything from it, and then it was just like next steps forward because they're gonna have they did, but they were reaching out to other developers, try to get a minting contract rewritten and then audited and then deployed for Monday. And I know that they were going to use the funds for the project, pull them out from the ACU chapter treasury to kind of fund this thing going forward. And then they said that the money's in the bank, gotta wait till Monday. And I was like, okay, I've heard this before. I'll be back on Monday.
Yeah. Shout out to what was that? The what Bones thing was that? The realize. They said let's say they'll be back on Monday, and never came back.
Never came back. Never showed up.
I forgot what project that was. It was Bone something.
So that gave me terrible vibes. But at the same time, too, I was like kind of wondering, like, okay, it makes sense, like they're being responsible as a treasury to have that in, US dollar or whatever.
Yeah, boneheads.
But at the same time, it's like if you're a Web3 brand or IP, like you would think that, and especially a big one, like you would have a significant amount that's probably still in crypto. Whether that's a stable coin, ETH, other currencies. So that felt a little off to me too. But was there a small level of doubt? Absolutely.
Sure.
But was there a big cup of hope? Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, my thoughts on it were just like, if this was almost anybody else, if this was a brand new project this happened to, I'd write them off. Good luck. You're trash. Goodbye. I'm just, if I get anything out of this, I'll probably try to sell it or just move it to my hidden folder. And I think most of the community would have that same effect too. But the difference here is that Micah has been in NFTs longer than pretty much anyone that we know, right? Anyone longer than you and I, longer than anyone in our chat. Like he's been in here for at least a couple years building this brand around Aku, and he's got these real life brands behind him. He's got Puma, he's got ice cream shop, he's got BBC. He's got these huge whales he's got like Dingling has been sweeping the floors, buying rares all day today. He's got all these people that are influential in the space are behind him and backing him, and that's the difference, right? That's why I think that this, and we did this in our rankings when we ranked about like, hey, what makes a project successful? And the mint day was one of the lower prioritized things because people can get past that. And once I realized that, me as a collector, as an investor, as a purchaser, or someone that bought in the Dutch auction, one, you're still gonna get you still get your NFT, and two, you still get your refund. So us as collectors aren't affected by it at all. The only people that are affected by it is, Mike and his team. They have their profits, their whatever they're supposed to use to build is locked up. But he does have the Aku chapters. He has already money from previous ventures that he can kind of dip into to use to continue to build this. So that's why I wasn't too worried about it, because of the backing he has, because of the project itself and the brand that Aku's built and the people that are behind it. And I mean that's why I wasn't too worried about it, and that's why I kind of tried to tune out the FUD a little bit, and I was looking at actually shopping this morning because we had the Akus, they were minted this morning. So everyone, if you bought in the Dutch auction, if you had some of the mint passes, then you were airdropped your Akutars this morning. And we can look. I mean, tell me, what do you think? This is just the floor. OpenSea is super slow; so they're not showing. So I'm showing them on Looks Rare, but this is what the floor looks like. What do you think the floor, looks to you?
I think when they're used in the PFP or like they're a little blown up, they look extremely good. Do they look maybe a little on the kiddish side? Yeah, but it makes sense for the IP, right? Like Aku is a kid, like so yeah, overall, but I think it's a pretty good render. It's definitely better than what's his name, Kid 8. Yeah, it's better than what Kid 8 did. What was his project called?
Gvols.
Yeah. In terms of the quality here, the rendering and stuff,
yeah,
this is a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, I think they look so clean. Some of them look better than the others. Like, I don't know if I'm feeling this. I don't know how I feel about the whole spaghetti head one. It's not going to load here now, but I don't know how I feel about. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. But hey, it's different, right? It's there. Yeah. But there's some really cool traits. Some of the custom one-of-ones look really good. Let me see if I can go to
the partner ones.
Yeah, like some of the partner ones, but even like some of the non-partner ones are like there's a lot of these custom one of ones, and but like yeah, like they just look really good. So some of the rares look like really nice. I think they all look good. They look clean. So I mean, it's been a very positive day for them, I think, and I think it's much needed after the weekend they had. So I think today is kind of like maybe the first step forward, right? It's the first step of like, all right, we're moving past the mint. Here's proof that we're actually following through with what we're saying, and here's your NFT, and here's the quality that they are, and kind of presenting it and letting the art and the quality speak for itself.
Yeah, for sure. Some of these traits, and I'm sure they will, because like they put a lot of thought into the traits, but I'm still kind of puzzled on some of them, like you said, spaghetti face, whatever. But if they tie into the future chapters and the story and whatnot, like I think it's pretty neat, rather than just be there for the heck of it. Just like what random traits do we think would be funny or would sell?
Yeah, like the gummy worms coming out of the space helmet's kind of an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely interesting. That fighter pilot.
Yeah, I mean
that's kind of nice.
That's kind of nice. Yeah, I mean, have you looked at yours yet? What do you think of yours?
I actually just revealed them, and I do
nice.
have a spaghetti head.
Oh no!
I have a spaghetti head blue Slurpee.
We were fun on your bags.
And then I have a cardboard head. Cardboard box head. What is this one? Homemade.
Here, wait. I think I got.
You just want to pull it up. Yeah, Jeremy. So that's two
you.
of them in there.
Oh,
and then
I guess.
Just put yojeremy.eth. You can use ENS now. And then take off the buy now filter.
That would. Oh wait, you're not trying to flip them?
Yeah. So there's.
Oh no, you got spaghetti head.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a new PFP, I think.
I think so too.
This one, that homemade helmet. I think Matthew A also got one of those as well. He meant to one. Yeah, that looks nice. That's definitely a viber right there that you got. I like this. I like this one.
It kind of reminds me of that project that used to be good. What was it? Something about they were blue. Something cats.
I don't know. I kind of tune out stuff like that.
Not gutter cats. It was the other one.
The less successful one, right?
The little sketch looking ones that were blue, and then they kind of they went way up, and then they went way down.
The not warm cats.
Oh, there you go. The cool cats. Yeah, it reminds me of the project that used to be good. Cool cats for the TV heads, the screens.
Let me see. These were mine that I got. The four on the right are the ones that I minted. This is kind of like one of my favorite ones that I got. A little
That's
blue
a
hoodie with the popcorn. It's kind of a viber, right?
That's a viber for sure.
I sniped this one on the floor earlier because it's that helmet. There's only 33 of the helmet.
Is it like a superhero outfit? What is that?
Yeah, it's the black super Aku suit.
Oh, super suit. Okay.
The super suit. So yeah, I think it's a pretty cool combination. I like it. Came up. Someone listed at the floor, and I saw the helmet only had 33 of them made. None are listed right now. So
yeah, nice.
That's why I thought that was a pretty good pickup. And I was trying to snipe some more rares, but Dingling kept beating me. It was pretty disappointing. So Dingling is still on that on-site list. But yeah, I think overall it's been a pretty successful day for the Akus. But
hey,
again, we're gonna see how they keep building, keep going.
What was the ending Dutch auction price? 2.1, 2.4? What was it?
2.1. Yep.
2.1. So I mean, despite all that, everything that happened, all the fun, the delay and the minting and the airdrop, and they're at what? What's the floor right now? 2.5. 2.5.
Yeah, I just checked right now. They're at 2.5.
2.5 at the floor post reveal for everything that's happened. I'm not saying this is like, hey, good job, IQ, like, because really I think they messed up big time. But it's impressive to see the demand in the market for them right now, especially on a Monday. ETH is down. Everything considered, to see a 2.5 floor for a Dutch auction that ended at 2.1.
Yep.
That's pretty crazy.
especially considering we have Otherside land coming up, people saving ETH for that, that people are still spending ETH on these, considering everything like you said. Yeah, I think this is a huge win for the team and for the project and people involved.
Yeah, that's impressive. They should be not proud, but they should be pretty grateful and happy for how this turned out so far. And I'm not telling you, the viewers, to go get in. I don't know if you guys minted or not, but and if you were interested though, and you had enough bankroll, at the same time it is only 0.4 above mint, but I would say maybe make some offers or try to snipe some rares. That's the play that I would make right now if I wasn't in. But other than that, really, if you're prepared for Otherside, then I would probably just sit on the sidelines and wait for Otherside.
Are you looking to pick up any more Akus, or are you kind of happy with the 2 you have?
I have a filter pulled up here on Fresh Drops to try to snipe maybe 1 or 2, but it has to be the right deal, because I think I have I know I have 3, but I think I bought 4. But the problem is I did it across multiple wallets, and now I'm trying to find them.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, one of those. Okay, if anything, I know they have there's a cheetah shirt and like a leopard helmet. So if I can find a matching one, like if I can get something representing the cheetah, because I'm a cheetah ape, I'm gonna try to scoop one of those and probably call it good.
Cheetah gang. There's a Viber cheetah helmet up right now, or leopard helmet. Sorry. Thinking about it, but.
All right, I think that's it for the Akus, and then we've pretty much covered all of the major. I guess there's one more thing. Let me pull this up too.
Oh, there's Coinbase Marketplace as well. We didn't talk about that since it released.
I thought we did on Wednesday, because Wednesday was the first day it released, and we talked about it. Yeah, we put up the comments and everything. They basically released the social media of marketplaces.
Yeah, you're right.
We talked about it a little bit, but there is one. I guess it's not huge news, but it affects a lot of us degens, right? That we use all these tools. Let me find. Here it is. All right, so there was another acquisition today, and so OpenSea announced that they have acquired gem.xyz.
That is big, and rip gem. No, I hope that they kept all the people in place, the resources who are running gem, let them do their own thing. Hey, we want to buy you because we see this as a good investment, and we see this as potentially longer term in terms of acquisition and merging. They're not going to merge as a platform, but I could definitely see them bringing some of Gem's code base and integrating that into OpenSea.
Yeah, it says you're still going to be able to. I think people were speculating, or they're hoping there's not going to be a conflict of interest now. Like Gem, you could list and buy across multiple marketplaces. So people are thinking like, well, now OpenSea bought them out, so can we still list on Looks Rare? Can we buy on X2, Y2? Can we still do all this? And I think from what it sounds like, it's still going to be an issue. But let's just have a live look at the Gem website right now. Look at the very top error message. Here we go. Here we go. It's already starting.
That's why they need Gem's expertise.
Maybe Gem, this is like a reverse buyout, and Gem is actually, they bought them out, and now the Gem devs work for OpenSea, and now they're going to help them. This is how OpenSea is fixing themselves. It all makes sense now.
We could possibly have breaking news right now as well. I think Elon Musk just bought Twitter, like maybe 20 minutes ago or even right now. But I think it's in the last 10 minutes. I think Twitter officially accepted Mr. Musk's $44 billion offer.
There it is. There we have it. Live breaking news. Twitter accepts buyout. Elon Musk now has total control of Twitter. I don't think this affects us too much, but hey, as far as NFTs, we're still gonna be doing our thing. But yeah, it's been fun to follow because Twitter is basically our home base for NFTs, so it's been something that everyone's following. Now it looks like it's come to an end. I mean, do you have any particular thoughts about this?
Uh Not particularly, but I think, man, I would like some time to speculate a little bit, but I think this could be pretty big for Elon and his companies. But my one thing is, he dabbles in crypto, but only for the purpose of like memeing, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's a big memer, and I know he's not gonna say, he's not gonna be a dictator in Twitter. He's probably just gonna let his other team run it, whoever. We'll look the details later. So like you said, I don't see NFT Twitter being affected. Definitely not in the short term. Any changes that he would make anyways would be a ways out. But
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to see, because this guy is a fat capper, right? Like he's a big capper. And so maybe NFT stuff goes away, like features like profile verification, stuff like that. I don't think they will, and even if they do, it's not a big deal. There'll be more platforms coming out in the future. But yeah, interesting to see. 44 bill, just a little bag.
Just a small 44 billion. That's obviously Dingling could have bought that if he wanted to, but he decided to let Elon have this one. Yeah. So it's like I said, I think it's kind of a non-issue. It's just kind of like, okay, cool, it's changing hands. I don't think we're going to see too much stuff happen, especially it's not going to affect us.
Yeah.
If it does, we're just going to move to TikTok, right?
I mean, I'm already thinking about Tesla, Twitter integration, and like, SpaceX, and Twitter being the first. Maybe they make like a interplanetary internet system, and it's Twitter branded and stuff. This is crazy. Yeah. I mean, this is just non-NFT stuff. My mind's just going wild now.
All right. Well, ending on that, we've kind of covered all of the major news issues and everything that's been happening over the last weekend. Do you have any remaining shout-outs, news and notes for the viewers?
GG's to those of you who followed the token proof call out. Not in terms of purchasing, but if you were an OG way back in the day, or like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, I told some people to join the token proof Discord. All you had to do was click one button to get the OG role, and then they ended up changing that the mint is free plus gas, and that happened on Saturday. And I haven't checked the floor today, but I know it got above 0.6 and even above 1 at some point. And a few of the guys in the Discord, they had that OG roll, they minted, and GG's to them, because that's a free ETH or
it's
something.
at 0.78 right now.
All right, yeah, free 0.8.
So 3.8. We take that.
We take that. So I'm not saying go buy token proof. Actually, I would recommend probably not buying. I would recommend selling. But GG's, and then the BFFs sold out.
Yep.
They reveal at 12 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, so 3 p.m. Eastern. All 10,000 PFPs. All 10,000 PFPs in the U collection will begin to unveil.
Yeah.
I thought that was a different number. I thought it was supposed to be. The other thing is that Kevin Rose, also on the town hall, confirmed that Alexis Ohanian is going to be kind of like involved in Proof. Not an official title, but they're going to be collaborating on future Proof products. And Alexis, who's also the Bored Ape, the Yuga contributor, right? ApeCoin DAO contributor.
Yep, he's on the board for that.
Yeah, board. He's invested 10 million into Proof, and so
He's just spending his wife's money, huh?
Yeah, that's just some news to drop. In terms of projects, I don't have anything necessarily to shout out today. I would just say, be prepared, be ready for Otherside, whatever that means.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I don't have any special shout outs, but yeah, just get ready for Otherside. That's my main thing. Prepare for it. If you have to sell stuff to get liquid and be ready for it, then go for it. But try, again, like I said earlier, I wouldn't try to sell things that are already like at a complete loss, because I think they do recover in the next month or two. But cool. Anything else? We already did our shout out to Hillbillies, and we can do it again. It deserves a second one. So again, if you're just joining us, shout out to Hillbilly for the big 44 ETH sale. Huge W's. We love seeing those W's.
Yeah, and he even shouted us out on Twitter. I didn't know that he sold it. Like when in his shout out, we gotta teach Hillbilly how to do shout outs, man. Because he thanked us on Twitter, and I'm like, okay, this is just like a random thank you. And I go back into the Discord like sometime later that night, and it was like, yo, Hillbilly, made a sale 44 ETH, yo, GG's Hillbilly. I'm like, what? And I go back to the timeline Twitter, and that's right after he made the sale. So I'm like, bro, just tell us on Twitter that he made the 44 ETH sell. It's like just like a random thank you, bro. But yeah, shout out to that guy. One thing I am gonna say though, we didn't talk about was the Looks Rare listing rewards. So we'll have to bring it up. We'll have to talk about it more in the next stream. But it's been good and bad for me. It's been good. I've been earning a lot of Looks tokens. I've been kind of forcing myself to.
You've had a tough time with that. You've been losing some of your assets because they get bought.
Yeah, but most of them have worked out. Most of them have been sold, and it's been a good thing that they have sold. But there's been a couple where it's not so good. Like Conian, not so good. I sold those for 1.5. I think they're above a 2 ETH floor. But it's made it a little easier on me to let things go. Even my BFF bracelets, they sold at 1 point something. That one was a good one. They went down to 0.8, whatever. But yeah, so Looks Rare rewards, listing rewards. If you're not familiar with Looks Rare, it's in the competitor to OpenSea or all the other marketplaces. Last week, they announced and released a feature that if you were to list an item that's in the top 25 volume, over the last 24 hours, within 1.5x of the floor, then you earn Looks tokens. And Looks tokens are probably, I'd guess, around $1.50 to $2, somewhere in that range. But, essentially for those first 3 days or so, and I just haven't done it. I didn't do it yesterday. But for those first 3 days, I was probably making about, I don't know, 1,000 a day for the token values.
Guys, a whale. Was it worth it?
I don't know. And that's what I'm trying
Was it worth accidentally selling some items?
That's what I'm trying to decide because I have no regret on selling the items. Like I'm glad.
Like I would never list like my Forever Ape. I would never list my Cheetah Ape, but other stuff like I would probably do it for sure. If I didn't, like, I'd probably ask myself like, would I be mad if it sells at this price, and then I'll list it. If not.
The one thing that I would say is like it's a bit of work because when you're trying to keep up with the market and you're trying to adjust, dynamically to the floor, then maybe you're only listing for 1 to 12 hours at a time, and so it does become partly like a job. The other thing is you can't. It's no benefit for rares because if you list a rare for 1.5 times the floor, obviously it's gonna get bought, so you wouldn't do that. So you have to go and see like your trait floors. And so it has some complications, but if you're like a liquid freak, right? Like you just love liquidity and flipping, like this may be awesome for you.
Liquidity.
Yeah.
We do have some breaking news again. Everything we said about the Akus and the Akutars, throw it out the window. It's all going to zero because Steve Aoki just bought a couple. So Steve Aoki is the classic top signal NFTs. So he just bought I think 3 of them. So Jake, thanks for QDog for the shout out. I looked at it. I pulled up his OpenSea. It's true. So it's over. It was fun while it lasted. Hopefully we can move on to the next one and pick the next winner. But Akutars are dead since Aoki bought in.
Yep. So definitely don't buy now. Dang, that sucks.
Dang, I hate to see it, honestly.
Hate to see it.
All right, I think that's all I've got. Anything else? Any other shouts that we're missing out?
That's it, my boy.
That's it. All right. Well, if that's it, then we will be back here probably on Wednesday, hopefully 1 p.m. Eastern. If anything changes, we'll let you guys know via Twitter. It kind of depends on probably work schedule and everything that's going on this week. But stay tuned for that. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Until then, be your own alpha as usual.
Alrighty, let's go. Yeah, GG's Hillbilly again. GG's to everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. Let's look forward to Otherside. You'll be your own alpha.
Peace.
Peace.